Hi, welcome to Matt Holman Golf. I thought it'd be fun today to look at Jordan Spieth, and I've got some footage on the left-hand side from 2010 when he was still a junior. Actually, I mean that's the sort of meteoric rise of Jordan Spieth here. So I think he was the best junior in the US there on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side was at the PGA this year. So I think actually what you're going to see, his swing has not changed that much in this sort of last 5-year period. He obviously found a swing that worked very early on. He just kept doing it. He sort of refined it definitely. I think the first thing that stands out, his body's definitely stronger. You can see that upper torso there is larger, the legs stronger, the arms are bigger. So he's sort of filled out in time, and I know he trains with a TPI instructor there, sort of golf fitness wise, and it's increased his distance off the tee, his general club head speed. I think movement wise, there's some differences here that I'm going to take you through. I know he works with a teacher out in Texas there, Cameron McCormack, I think has been his original coach from his junior days. Seems a very knowledgeable guy. I try and sort of follow what information I can from him. So we can start on the left-hand side. I think, first movement-wise has changed a little. He's definitely tidied this up slightly on the right-hand side. It's not drastically different. Postural angles are very similar there. So on the right-hand side here, the camera angles are pretty similar. You're going to see the arms are going to just move a little bit more away from his body, so we can see the hands sort of starting to cross the vertical line. Club's more sort of in front of the shaft plane. Still got that sort of strongish look in the club face that we see in a lot of the modern players there. Still largely a very serviceable, decent look there. I think on the right it's definitely, sort of 5-10% improvement. Hands are perfectly on plane. Club travels right up the shaft plane line with the club face sort of matching his spine. So continued on, his arms again on the right hand side, his arms sort of a little bit more through the centre of his chest, which we'd say is a little bit more of an ideal. You see these sort of looks on the left hand side, we're saying Adam Scott early on, Tiger early in his career. The arms are definitely more through the centre of your chest. That I know the work I did with Claude Harmon and Sean Hogan, the Ledbetter guys, Kevin Smeltz worked with Charles Howe. Similar thing ideally where Jordan is on the right hand side there, a little bit more through the centre of body. Shaft plane's incredibly similar. Now as he winds it to the top, it's definitely a little shorter on the right hand side here, a little wider, but it's a nice completed look. So going to see as Jordan completes here, the arm plane's going to be a little steeper, it's going to be a little longer there, slightly narrower. Again, obviously very playable. He's got his characteristic sort of slight flying pinky there. It's a bit more noticeable on the left hand side. Depth wise, you can see on the right hand side the left arm's a little bit more across his chest, matching his shoulder plane a little bit more. Again, sort of more what I would say is an ideal. The arm plane's a little higher here, and you can see relative to where it's sort of a line drops straight down from the butt end of the club, so a little bit more sort of through that heel. They talk about a third of a sort of shoe width there would be an ideal. He's a little bit more in front of him there. But, again, it's sort of very similar. It's just you can see physically stronger on the right hand side, and just the technique's just been sort of tinkered, 10%, just tidied the movement up in a number of areas, but it's certainly very much still the swing that he had as a junior. So continued on, again on the left hand side, I think the sort of transitional sequence is quite similar. Sort of bum moves back slightly, presses down with the body. I see the same sort of compression look there on the right hand side. Shaft's very much on plane on the left hand side. I think something that stands out to me, he's definitely sort of flexing a little bit more with his right leg there. He keeps the height in his knees slightly more. Certainly knee flex going on there. It's going to give him a little bit more room, stop him from getting trapped. I think on the left hand side here, at times he seems a little long, a little narrow, and that sort of right knee sort of drives in a little too much, you could see some sort of narrow pushes and pull draws. So you can see he's definitely sort of tidied that movement up there. And you'll see again a sort of similar sort of compressed look, but we can see now relative he's a little more in his angles on the right hand side. Shoulder segment is now sort of a little bit more to the right. You can see the shoulders sort of looking more left and up, so when we look from face on he's going to have leaned back a little bit more rotation. Where that right knee drove in, more hip turn, he's got a gap in between his legs which we don't see on the right hand side now. So in terms of sort of pelvic position, head position, I thought it'd be interesting, control of the spine angle. Just take a quick look at this. I notice a couple of differences here as well. So again, at the top in his sort of early days from about 3/4 the way up, the head would press down, which you see in lots of good players, and move forward a little bit relative to where it started. You can see the cappers have moved forward. So as Jordan's got stronger here and obviously refined his technique, his head retains a little bit more height. If we said the same place about there, you can see the difference in width of the shaft when the hands are at the same height above the head there. On the right hand side the shaft's definitely wider, the head's more in place, so all the way to the top there it's going to have moved less forward and down. So continued into the downswing, go on the right hand side. Similar sequence. He's got that look, he compresses down really nicely. Tailbone actually tends to move forward a little bit. If we were super fussy, we'd love his bum stay on that line slightly more. The head moves forward a little bit there. You'll see the same sequence but a bit more exaggerated on the right hand side. I think, again you can see he's moved off this tailbone line more on the left hand side. What you're going to see now also, the right knee's driven down more. Now you're going to see more sort of upwards raising of the chest. On the right hand side he's going to be down in his posture a little bit more there, spine angle over the ball slightly more, leg action a little quieter, and he definitely now swings the handle much more left on plane, and you're going to see this really in his follow through. On the right hand side here it's more a down the line look that you'll see in this exit here. You can see how the shaft now on the right hand side is going to finish sort of flatter, especially as he gets into finish there, where on the left hand side he's sort of done and the shaft is sort of a lot steeper at finish. So just a quick look from face on now. I think really everything we saw from down the line, I'll see from face on now. He's got a drive on the right hand side, it looks like a 3-wood on the left hand side, so it's a slightly different swing. Setup wise we can definitely see, interestingly, with the 3-wood there, his weight's anything a little bit on his right side. The shaft's very much leaned away, which we don't see so often in the 3-wood. The driver, his hips now are sort of weights a little bit more on his front side through the middle of his feet. I'd say a bit more 50-50 there on the right, where on the left his old swing sort of 60-40, 70-30 on the back foot. Shaft angle of the driver is what we're looking for, slight lean away. Maybe this being fussy, if his weight was a little more forward, that would hang a bit more up and down. So, I think look-wise here is going to be quite similar. He's definitely narrow on the left-hand side that you'll see as he swings away here now. This is definitely something he's worked on here. Showed up really from down the line as well. We can see how it's a more stretched look with the arms on the right hand side. It's a narrow look. Now he's hitting 3-wood here, so it'd always be a little bit narrower, but certainly not this difference in swings. And that's what we saw in the length of that swing. So look how much more stretched and wider the movement is on the right hand side. And that's why now he's hitting 3-wood. It's definitely sort of a narrower look. Again, on the right hand side, he's got that slight lean back look and that individual sort of through the foot and the shaft lean. You're going to see it's more exaggerated here. definitely very much the chest and head a long way back, and now that's why you'd have that shaft lean to sort of try and compress the ball. So it's a much more covered look through the spine. And interestingly, if we were looking at two swings from the same era, we would expect the 3-wood to be a much more covered spine angle than with a driver. Always characteristic movements, but it's a sort of refined look.